comes a comeback. This is your time, your moment. The fight, you're golden. You've come so far, keep going. Oh, here comes a comeback.
Good morning. Today is Friday, January 20th, 2023. My name is Lily. There are no Bearsville birthdays today, but tomorrow Gwenna will celebrate her birthday, and Dylan and Aiden will celebrate. Stay tuned for the core value announcement about knowledge.
Core value this month is knowledge. Knowledge is learning something new so you can be better at whatever you do. We have to give ourselves permission to make mistakes on our quest for knowledge. Things never go perfectly. We will make mistakes and go off on the wrong track. Just remember that making mistakes is part of the learning process.
Today in history, January 20th, 1981, the Iran hostage crisis ended. It was on this day in 1981 that the Iran hostage crisis ended. Minutes after Ronald Reagan's inauguration as the 40th president of the United States, the 52 U.S. captives held at the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, Iran, are released, ending the 444-day Iran hostage crisis. On November 4th, 1979, the crisis began when militant Iranian students, outraged that the U.S. government had allowed the ousted Shah of Iran to travel to New York City for medical treatment, seized the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. The Ayatollah Khomeini, Iran's political and religious leader, took over the hostage situation, refusing all appeals to release the hostages, even after the UN Security Council demanded an end to the crisis and a unanimous vote. However, 2 weeks after the storming of the embassy, the Ayatollah began to release all non-U.S. captives and all female and minority Americans, citing these groups as among the people oppressed by the government of the United States. The remaining 52 captives remained at the mercy of the Ayatollah for the next 14 months. President Jimmy Carter was unable to diplomatically resolve this crisis, and on April 24, 1980, he ordered a disastrous rescue mission in which 8 U.S. military personnel were killed and no hostages were rescued. 3 months later, the former Shah died of cancer in Egypt, but the crisis continued. In November of 1980, Carter lost the presidential election to Republican Ronald Reagan. Soon after, with the assistance of Algerian intermediaries, successful negotiations began between the United States and Iran. On the day of Reagan's inauguration, the United States freed almost $8 billion in frozen Iranian assets, and the hostages were released after 444 days. The next day, Jimmy Carter flew to West Germany to greet the Americans on their way home.
Hi, Bearsville. It's time to end our announcements, but before we do, let's review our STAR expectations. Strive to do your best.
Take responsibility for your actions.
Always be safe.
Respect people and property. At this time, we ask students and staff to please rise for our national anthem and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Have an amazing day, Bearsville.